Estonians. It was a terrific evening, and earlier during band rehearsals, I had a chance to talk with Cyndi and Dionne. Cyndi, Dionne, it's good news for Boston. You've gathered together here to do a really good thing. AIDS is a 1985 issue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's just become an obvious situation in 1985. It's been long before 85. It's been existing. But prior to that, no one really knew what it was or what to call it. All they knew is that it jumped upon you, it took your life, and they didn't know why.
Sounds like you've had a personal experience. Is there a personal reason why you're committed to this?
Yeah, I've had a couple of personal experiences. There was a young man who worked for me who died of AIDS, and it was devastating because he was a young man and a very, very personable young man who was very giving and a very caring person, and to just deteriorate and be destroyed without anyone knowing why. We thought it was something else, of course. I mean, whenever anyone gets that sick, the first thing that comes to mind is cancer.
Of course.
And that's, of course, what we thought it all was. And until we started seeing him just in front of our eyes just deteriorate, it was devastating. And there's a hairdresser that was very close to me. He's gone. And quite a few other people that I know have succumbed to this.
And until we find a cure, it's a helpless feeling when you're watching people die.
Yes, it is.
How about you, Cyndi? Same thing, a personal involvement?
Yes, yes. Very special person, very special, very creative, good, really good soul. And there's nothing you can do. But there is something you can do.
You're doing it.
You can fight back a little bit, you know?
Yeah, just give.
Well, I wonder, you know, both of you have had such a measure of success, and I guess it gets to the point where you feel it's incumbent upon you to give back. And if you feel something, this is a wonderful way to turn your own success into good for others. Do you feel that way? Is that the reason why you're involved?
Well, that isn't really. I'm doing it because I believe you can make a change. That you don't have to sit back and let life run you over. I think that people can control life. Control your own life and your destiny. If you try, you got to be active. You can't just let everything go by and say, oh, gee, that's real bad, because it's real bad, but if you don't do nothing about it, it's worse.
You're both role models for women. You're a feminist, Cyndi. You talk a lot about it. I know, Dionne, you are as well. You've got your doctorate. You believe in education. Here you are.
You got a doctorate?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that terrific?
That's great.
But you know, education is a real part of this, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You've got to let people know what the...
That's right. The information has got to be given. It has to be. The only way you're going to find out anything, and then too, it is our responsibility as people who care to ask questions in order to get the answers. So you can't leave it upon the responsibility of those people who are in research and or in the educating seat. You have to also question to get the information.
You have a new music video, a new song with Elton John and Gladys Knight and Stevie Wonder.
Right.
That's what friends are for.
Right.
You move from hunger and you move into something like this. It's a wonderful way for the entertainment industry to say, listen, this exists, we got to do something about it.
It's so wonderful too that we are usually the first ones that people say, oh, they do this and they do that and they don't do this and they don't do that. And you know, in our own way, first of all, we do have loud voices, and we have such high visibilities that the power structure is basically the entertainment industry. And if it's in a positive mode, nothing can stop it, nothing.
I wonder, Cyndi, you see this whole mobilization of the entertainment industry since you've hit it big, but Dionne, in the early days, people didn't get together to do this kind of thing, occasional telethons and stuff, but it's really come to the forefront.
Full force, it really has. I think what has happened is that there's so much going on, and so much that we know that we can do something about. And it's so easy. I mean, what does it require? A little bit of time, and a little bit of talent.
Yeah.
That's right.
And those are the things that have been given to me to give, so why not?
Well, isn't that a great way to look at it? Cyndi, when they first approached you, what did you think? You said yes immediately?
Oh, yeah, because I did the thing, remember, with Elizabeth Taylor, went out there, and then I wanted to do something in New York, and they called me and asked me to do the thing in Boston here, so I said yeah. And I did something last night too. It was like a fashion thing, a little fashion thing with Patty Austin, you know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so, but it's there's something that's going to take place in New York on more of a full-scale thing that it's in the talk stage right now.
Yeah.
And I just think that it would be great if we could really have a network, and they're just starting that across
Around
the whole
world,
country.
And
Yeah.
then around the world. I mean,
Right.
this is a worldwide issue. It's not just relegated to one state.
And it is, and I have to say it, although I may sound ignorant, it's a frightening issue. We don't know enough.
You got that right. It is frightening.
Yeah.
And I think basically the frightening issue is that, well, when it was kind of put into one category with the gay group, you know, it's hard to say it because I never believed that anything is okay. But it was all right. It didn't bother me. That was the attitude that was taken. But then when it kind of crossed the line, and women were having problems with it, children were having problems.
We've had 10 women die in Massachusetts
That's what I
with
mean.
AIDS.
So
yeah.
now all of a sudden, it's looked upon as what it really is. It's a people disease.
Exactly.
And everybody should be concerned.
In Africa,
Right.
it's mostly women that have this disease.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes, in
Yeah.
Africa it's mostly women, not men. So you can't, they don't even know exactly where the origin is from. They thought it was from green monkey bites.
Right.
They're not
Haiti,
sure.
Yeah.
Then it went to San Francisco, and then it went to, you don't know where it came from.
You know, it's wonderful that they plan tonight at the Metro to raise $100,000, and that money goes to research. And I can't think of a better place to begin.
Right.
Mass General Hospital, right, is taking those dollars.
Because they're so, supposedly they're close. I mean, a lot of places though,
Right,
they're
they're
doing
very
great
close, they
stuff.
are.
Yeah.
But it'd be great if they come up with something, just anything. I mean, there are certain things that are going on. They got certain things that they can give people. You know, there was the whole big thing with cyclosporin.
Right.
And then there's this other drug they give now that is for different, it's like for heart disease, doesn't hurt you, no side effects. They're not sure. It just seems like they're right on the brink, and maybe this $100,000 is going to put it over, and that's what counts, you know?
I'm sitting here smiling. Do you know something I have to say to you? I loved reading that when, years ago, you used to say, and this is such a segue, it's crazy, you used to say, I feel like Isadora Duncan. I want to rip open my shirt and say, here I am. And I kind of feel like you're doing that for AIDS, you, Cyndi Lauper.
I don't know.
And
It's
here I am, I
important.
want to do something.
Well, yeah, we're all here.
That's right.
And we all are just as important. If it takes one person, you got a couple of, you know, you got some quarters in your pocket you don't need, what are you going to do? Just, you know, it doesn't matter how much, as long as you send in something. If everybody sends in something, it's like the penny a day principle, you know?
Well, we're a community of man, and this doesn't know any race, color, or creed.
We're a
this
community
disease.
of people.
That's right. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Cyndi. Dionne, nice to meet you. Thank you both very much for what you're doing.
Pleasure.